this kind of perfect storm of events that led to everything that we've been talking about for the last 17, 18 hours now?
Well, it actually goes back a couple of weeks when we had all that tropical moisture move in from the Gulf. That was part of the catalyst that got things going. It really infused the atmosphere with a tremendous amount of moisture. Then we had that Pacific system that started up. That also came into the region. So now we've got an atmosphere that's primed and ready to go. It just needs a little bit of a triggering mechanism to kind of make it rain. When we were looking at precipitable water, which tells us how much water is in the air, it was 2 inches plus. That's way above the normal that we have around this region for this time of the year. The triggering mechanism, a little bit of an upper level low or a mid-level low as we might call it, that was enough of a little spin, and you could see it in the radar. That little spin actually made air rise and provided enough little lift, enough disturbances in the air to create the rain. And it created it in waves so that we were watching it last night, and it was starting right up into this region. You could see the waves of rain starting to move up, particularly back up from Utopia, all the way up into Kerrville, back up into Bernie. And so we watched that rain last night. And once that starts raining, we start looking at how much each one of these little cells is raining, what the intensity is. And we were getting some intense numbers from those things. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches. I mean, it was 2 to 5 inches really quick in some spots because these storms were passing over the same region over and over again. And boy, it was really dropping the rain. And so that's kind of what started it all. And before you knew it, we were looking at an intense number of inches of rain that was coming down, particularly between the 3 and 5 o'clock hour. And that's when the flooding really began. We could see the Guadalupe River starting to rise. It was going up rather quickly, 30 feet in 45 minutes. We were looking at a 22-foot rise in about 30 minutes. So we knew that things were turning bad really, really fast. Early in the morning, starting as early as around 1 or 2 o'clock, we could already see the beginnings of this thing really starting to get a little bit on the outside of where things were normally. So then we got all that rain, and now we're looking at this. It's left over. The main little triggering mechanism has skirted all the way back on up to the north and kind of dissipated. The only little strong cell we're looking at is right up here, just out near Georgetown, with most of the rest of the area just some light rain. The stronger storm, again, will likely track right up into this region here, which will go north of Lakeway, back up into Austin, might make it over into Elgin. Now, the big story is, what are we going to be looking at for here? Well, right now, we still have that flash flood warning. That's going up until midnight, and that's mainly because of the water going downstream yet. It still hasn't hit Spring Branch. And we were looking at the Spring Branch gauge, and it seems to have stuck. It hasn't given us a reading for a while. It's telling me 1.7 feet. I don't think so. I think we're going to be looking at a big change here, at least before midnight, because there's a lot of water coming down. So maybe some debris hit the gauge, maybe the gauge is out, but we did look at a prediction, and we did look at the forecast for the rain pushing down that water getting into Spring Branch. By midnight, it should be up to near 27 to 28 feet. So that's what we're looking at coming our way tonight in our local region. Now, when we look at tomorrow, that's another story. You see what's happening. The moisture still in the air, heat still available for tomorrow. We're going to see some scattered to widely scattered showers. They're going to be around in the morning. We'll see a few of them start right about 10 o'clock. It ramps up quickly around noon and then starts to drop off by 3 o'clock. So you've got another little time window when you could see rain. And again, the bigger story is, where is it coming from and how much is it going to fall? I want to show you what meteorologists look like. This is what we're looking at. This is one model we run in-house. Look at that. It's telling me 1.4. It's telling me 2.72 over here. If I just go with that one model, that's the number I'm using. But if I go back and look at other models that are out there, and that's what we do, here's the next model. That's telling me 1.5 inches of rain, no rain here, 1 inch up here, 3 inches back up to the north. Maybe that one's right, huh? How about this one? Here's still another one. That's just a little over 1/2 inch, about 1/2 inch here, a little over 1/2 inch. No rain here and no rain here. So that's what we're looking at when we're looking at computer models. We're looking more for trends. We're looking more for what's really happening right now. And that's why we break it down and we kind of want to figure out what's going on. So what I'm thinking tomorrow, we'll see some light rain across the area. We could see a ½ inch of rain at best, maybe some up to the north, maybe across. We've got that little window, so it's just going to happen within that little bitty window of time.
Yeah, Alex, thank you so much. And you know, it's just heartbreaking to hear all of the details of how we got to this point. You know, but now we're going to go ahead and check in with Phil Sterling.